Hey guys, happy Thursday night. I know I don't usually start my videos at the end of the night when I start my videos, but I'm going to tell you about my week. And I did film every day, and there was even a few times when I chatted with you guys, but it was just so like early in the morning before my day even started, and then I never even finished the video. I just finished my food. I did film my food every day, but just never actually was able to get on here and talk to you guys. It has just been such a hectic week. I mean, it has been insane. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but I do feel very successful in the fact that I did stick with my meal plan. There's a couple times I had things that I didn't really plan on having, but I also did not give in to any kind of binges or urges or anything like that I've been kind of struggling with lately. I just made it through my week, and I kept up with my things that I've been wanting, my goals that I've been having, which is, trying to drink my water, trying to just stick with my meal plan, trying to eat foods that I know are good for me and nourishes me. I've been tracking on the chronometer, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I downloaded it on my iPad so I could actually go through how the entire week has looked. I told you that I'm tracking on this just to track my nutrition. And then I want to try to learn from this and spend some time maybe trying to increase my different nutrients in different ways. But we'll go into more of that in just a second too. So it's actually, with as hectic of a week it's been very successful. But again, like I said, I was not really able to get on here and talk to you guys as much as I wanted to talk to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little intro here, tell you about my week. I'm going to go through my chronometer, and then we are going to, after that, I'll show you everything I ate this week, and you can see all my meals and everything. But first, let's get into how my week went. So for those of you who don't know, I do work in HR and education, and in the state of Oregon. Monday was the last day that everybody had to either be fully vaccinated, which means 2 weeks after their last vaccination shot, or had to fill an exception form. Those were all due, either medical or religious. And then as HR, we had the wonderful task of having to track all of that, track it. We had to check all the exception forms. My boss does the approving. I'm sending out letters to people. We were having, to decide whether people had to be pulled out of classrooms. It was just a kind of a sad, humbling, hectic, it still is. It still is. There's still things we're trying to read through, still letters we're trying to get out. It's very sad in some ways. It's very, it's sad to be reading some of these things and seeing how people feel, and I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that stuff, but it just caused for such a hectic week. My brain, my mental capacity was probably 200% by 4:30. And actually I worked probably till 5 every single day this week. And I am glad tomorrow is Friday. I am looking forward to that. But it's just been so mentally draining that there was just no way I could hop on after I got off work, and even at lunchtime. By lunchtime, I mean every day at lunch, I think I worked until about 1 o'clock. It didn't even take my lunches till about 12:45, 1 o'clock all week. It was just really tough, really, really tough. But I made it through, and I kept to my meal plan. I mean, even though there was a day I did not make dinner, but I ate leftovers today. I mean, it was a good week. So let's talk about chronometer a little bit. One thing I have noticed on it is, and if you guys don't know what it is, it's a nutrition tracking app. It's a little bit unorganized, so it may drive people a little crazy because it's not broken down, and maybe you can in the premium one. I just have the regular free one. But it doesn't break down by like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It literally just throws everything on the screen, which I think is because you are tracking the nutrients. You're not really tracking anything else. It does track calories, but that's not really what I'm looking at this moment. There's certain nutrients I'm trying to track based on a video I saw about these certain things, and you can highlight those on here. So my highlighted ones, I've talked about this before: vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3s, omega-6. Actually, I think it's only supposed to be omega-3s. I wasn't sure which one of the omegas it was. I'm pretty sure it's 3, she said, to track. Fiber, and I don't know if B12 protein was on there, but added sugars was. I added B12 and protein on there just for my own information, but it also tracks everything. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, you see all of those on there. It tracks every single, like pretty much every vitamin and mineral. What are those red ones? The red ones mean I went over. So went over on sodium, but I want to talk about something real quick. And my friend Krista actually pointed this out, and she was absolutely correct. This app is like pretty much every other tracking app out there, where it's based on what people put in, for one thing. That's one thing. But you can scan it. So anything that has a label that I'm eating, I'm scanning, because I have learned that from every other app that I've ever done before. You need to scan it. That when you get the accurate information, you check it, make sure what's scanned is what shows up in there. And that's what I do. That's what I do with every other app I ever use. But there are still things in here like raw veggies and things like that that don't scan. So those particular things, of course, I always had to go in there and put them in there. Some of those things I think are a little bit exaggerated. I want to say one of them being like carrots and things like that. I feel like it's putting way too much of the amount of nutrient in there, but I still feel like this is motivating to me. It's motivating because my goal really is to be healthy and have a good blood test and just to feel healthy overall. And I feel like if I'm getting all these nutrients in and I'm purposely picking foods that have certain nutrients in them, that really helps me. And this really helps me also to know, okay, if these ones are highlighted, I know fiber, that was the other one. I know fiber is very important to women. And I feel like I know where fiber comes from, but it still tells you. So when I pull up one of my fiber things, it tells me my top sources of the day. And then it also tells you the sources of them. So things that I don't know a lot about, like magnesium, it tells me right here: coffee, tea, legumes, lima beans, soybeans, leafy greens, spinach, beet greens, and kale. Those are some things. So my first day wasn't that great. And I did show you guys that on Monday. But when I go over and I go to Tuesday, it was much better. But this is an example of where it's like my fiber. My goal is 25 grams. That is the minimum that they say women should get. I got 98% of my fiber that day because I had broccoli. I had those whole wheat multigrain buns on my sandwich. I had green beans, I had an apple, I had an orange. I had a Premier protein shake. I had a peanut butter. I had sweet potato. I had cauliflower, and I had a yogurt. Those all went into my fiber. My added sugars, I have been very proud of that because 25 is the target, and I have only been hitting, that was 60% on that day. The day before was like 30%. I mean, it's very low sugars. My omega-3s, I'm not hitting any of those. That's not a surprise. Those come from like fatty fish, but you also can do it in chia seeds and flax. So I could add some of those things to my diet. My magnesium is up much more, but because I've been adding in electrolytes, because I've been having really bad leg cramps at night. So I've been drinking the Perfect Keto electrolytes every morning, and I have not had any leg cramps since that happened. So I'm just drinking just the 1 scoop every morning. It does have a lot of magnesium in it. So my magnesium goal is 320, and that has 250 in it. But besides that, peanut butter has a lot of magnesium. Did you all know that? I did not know that. Broccoli is a good source of magnesium. Green beans, the Dan and Light and Fit yogurt, sweet potatoes, oranges, cauliflower, apples. I had all of those that day, and all of them have a good source of magnesium. I had no idea. Now that I know that, I feel like I feel good about what I'm doing. Vitamin D, again, I had a huge source from Perfect Keto. But Premier Protein also has quite a bit of vitamin D. Who knew? My protein, even without the Premier Protein, I hit my protein goals pretty good. I think that's just from doing keto for so long. I can get my protein in. But one of the things that I wanted to tell you on that day, though, I had some carrots, and it showed my vitamin A at like 522%. Now, 362% of it was sweet potato. I feel like that was over exaggerated. It says it has 8,455 IUs of vitamin A. I don't know, that seems like a lot. The broccoli the same way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I hit vitamin A pretty much every day. Don't have good eyesight, but I haven't always hit my vitamin A. Another one I hit a lot of is riboflavin, which is B2. I actually hit usually my target on that every day. I'm not purposely tracking it. It's just on here. I'm hitting 70% of my B2 pretty much every day. Same with B3s, B5s, B1. So all my Bs, I'm hitting pretty good. Just from broccoli, green beans, oranges, all those things, peanut butter, all those things. You know what I'll do? While I'm talking here, I'll do a screen record on either my phone or on my iPad here, and I'll put that on the screen. That way you can kind of see what I'm looking at when I'm talking. Vitamin K is another thing I'm hitting a lot because there's a lot in broccoli, green beans, cauliflower. So I think for me, what I'm taking away from this, let me look on the 20th real quick because I don't think I looked at that day. Again, on that day, my protein was a little bit lower than normal. That was the day I did not eat dinner. I had actually peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which was what I wanted. But okay, that's another thing. Maybe again, I just don't know things. Peanut butter has a lot of omega-3s, I guess because of nuts, and I just never really thought about that. But again, on that day, like my B2, I hit 67%. I mean, I'm just hitting my vitamin C, my vitamin D, my vitamin A, vitamin K. Again, all of those are very high. My sodium, I do keep going over on my sodium, but I'm drinking a lot of water though too. If anybody's interested in like carbs, I'm hitting usually around, this does track net carbs. I'm finding I'm hitting like around 50 to 60 net carbs, not purposely, but just because I'm eating so much more fiber. But yeah, you guys, this for me, like I said, I feel like is a really good exercise in just, making these conscious choices that these things are feeding my body, but I'm still having things like, like I said, I'm still eating peanut butter. I know a lot of people say, oh, use almond butter, it's better for you. I'm not as huge. I like almond butter, but I love peanut butter more. And I feel like peanuts get a bad rap sometimes, and maybe they're not the most nutrient nut. But when I've added peanut butter on these days, either with an apple or on a peanut butter and jelly, I am actually hitting some of my vitamins because there are so many good sources in that peanut butter. Now, I don't have a good source of peanut butter right now. I just have the kind that my family likes, which has sugar. So this weekend I do plan on picking up my favorite peanut butter, which is only nuts and salt. And I like the Crazy Richards, but I don't know. I haven't been able to find that lately, but I'm just going to find some kind of all natural peanut butter. But everything that I'm eating lately, and I'm still throwing in some fun stuff. I'm putting croutons on my salad, which I haven't done in a long time. But it's, I don't know, like I was saying, I just feel really good about, I had some caramel apples one day. I had the sugar-free caramel from Smucker's. I put that on some apples. That was a great little like dessert. So I'm really having a lot of fun with my food, but also seeing that I'm kind of balancing out by adding in some really rich nutrient foods as well. I don't know. And I don't know if I would have really wanted to continue on. Like, there's some days that you just don't want this stuff, but seeing it like on here, I don't know. It's just a mental thing for me. I'm really enjoying it. So now that I've talked for, 11 and a half minutes, again, on the screen here, I will put some screenshots and some screen recordings so you can see what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's head on and you can see everything I ate this week. On this morning for breakfast, I just wanted to have a Premier Protein with some coffee, so I brewed some Nespresso. I did like 3 shots of Nespresso, let it cool down. I'm adding one of these Cafe Latte Premier Proteins. You guys know these are like my favorite. So I just put, I think it was about, 3/4 of one. And then I also brought a cherry yogurt and some oranges. So I am heading out to work and I will have this at work. For lunch today, I'm having one of my meal preps. This is some roasted sweet potatoes with roasted green beans, broccoli, some mashed cauliflower, and some chicken. You can see how I made this in my meal prep video. Was not very hungry. I think I mentioned this in my intro. I was not very hungry this day, so I just had a peanut butter and jelly. So it's just peanut butter with some sugar-free apricot jam on some wheat bread. I forgot to fill my breakfast this day. I just had a yogurt and some oranges. But for lunch, I had one of my breakfast bowls. So I have sweet potato, sausages, and some peppers that I made in meal prep. And I just made a couple of over easy eggs and put those on top. This was so good. So highly recommend this like kind of savory and like a sweet potato thing. That is really good. Makes a really good breakfast. Or lunch in this case. And again, check out my meal prep video to see how I made this. For a kind of snack, I had some Boom Chicka Pop popcorn. So these are individual microwave bags, and I just had a half of this bag. Now, I had a total fail for dinner on this day. The plan was to make like an orange chicken like crock pot meal. So I have my chicken, which you don't see here, and then, or I think you'll see it in a second, it's ground chicken. And it's supposed to be 3 ingredient, just the chicken, the barbecue sauce, the sugar-free marmalade, but I did not find marmalade, so I thought the apricot would work. So I thought it was just more about the stickiness. And then optional was sesame oil and soy sauce. I didn't have any soy sauce, so I was going to substitute coconut aminos. So I put everything in the crock pot at lunchtime, and then when I came home, the sauce was all nice and thick, the chicken was all cooked, but it tasted so bad, y'all. I mean, so bad. I don't know if it was the apricot. I don't know if it was the coconut aminos, but it was not good at all. So I had to come up with some dinner on the fly, which I'm glad I keep, these kind of convenience things around. So I have the rotisserie chicken strips that I get at Costco from Tyson. I had some broccoli and cauliflower that I planned on using with the orange chicken anyway. And then I had some of the sugar-free teriyaki sauce from G. Hughes. So I just heated all that up, put it in a bowl, and this was a fantastic dinner. So see, this is why it's good to have some convenience items on hand, just in case failed dinners or you just need to throw something together if you've had a long day. And then to round out this night, I had some dessert. Told you guys this was a week. You guys know I don't usually have snacks or desserts, but I had to this week. So I had some apples with some of this sugar-free caramel syrup, which was just exactly what I needed. So thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Next week should be a much more normal week. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.